Good evening, good evening, good evening, family. This is Juan J. Johnson coming to you live on this November 24th.
Good evening, family.
Let me hear the echo. November 24th for 2023. We are here live in this day. We're about to get started soon. Just want to get all these preliminaries out the way. Hi, we are broadcasting on every social media platform. Every social media platform that we're here. It's good to be with you. If you have not heard from me, let me tell you first again, happy belated Thanksgiving or Thanksgiving, however you interpret it. To some, that was uh, to some Thanksgiving was a day of mourning. To others, a day of rejoicing. So, however you entertain, however you observe or you celebrate your Thanksgiving, I just pray that you have had a blessed evening and you had a good time and you was able to fellowship with your loved ones, the ones you cared for. Again, we are live on this 11/24, 2023, and we're looking forward to having a great conversation with you on tonight. As you can see, the title we're talking about the Maryland Federal Appeals Court strikes down murder and handgun law. It's a great day if you're a Marylander. It's a great day to be a Marylander, to be a gun owner. A lot has changed. I got my man on board. Wayne Walker is going to join me as we discuss this whole uh, law that just took place on Tuesday. What it means to you as a Maryland resident, what it means to you as your training, what it means to you as far as purchasing your gun. Okay. Before I get to the spiel, let's first deal with the drill. If you need responsible handgun training, go to lwftraining.com. That's lwftraining.com for all your firearms training. If you want to conceal a carry weapon or wear and carry, if you want a handgun qualification license, if you just need an instructor to go out there on the range with you to make sure that you're properly handling the gun and you don't shoot yourself or your neighbor. I need somebody to type in the chat if they can hear me, if my audio is going in and out. Just give me a thumbs up, a thumbs down. Tell me something. Last time I was on, I was told that my volume kept going in and out, in and out. So I want to make sure I'm broadcasting with no type of interruptions. Also, if you need renewals on your HQL or you need renewals on your wear and carry, lwftraining.com. If you want that intro to basic pistol, go to lwftraining.com. And if you just have a gun in your possession and you no longer desire it, no longer want it, I need you to go to lwftraining.com. We will come to your location with paperwork and we would transfer those weapons from your residence to the company for educational purposes. Again, there's no need to contact the police. There's no need to take it to the church. I may deal with that issue that happened last week at a very popular church, two of them, where they had gun buybacks. Okay, and they was giving out certificates. I am not for the gun buybacks under no circumstances. You can take it to where you bought the gun from. Take it back to the store where you bought it from. Uh, take it to a pawn shop. But I'm not with that gun buyback. But I may deal with that tonight. Just a lot to cover tonight, but we want to deal with that Maryland Federal Appeals Court strike down of the Maryland handgun law. So again, go to LWF Training and sign up, register, and let's get some responsible gun ownerships in the house. So again, Thank you all for tuning in. Again, I hope you had a great Thanksgiving or Thanksgiving, whichever one you consider it. Um, and it's back to business. It's back to business. I know it's Friday. Some of y'all are out getting your party on. You about ready to get your party on. One of the reasons why I came on early because I noticed some of y'all just ready to go party. You done got all your turkey in your system. You got the dressing. You got your cranberry sauce dripping down your chin. You done had your fried turkey, your baked turkey, your potato salad. You've had it all. You ate. Now it's time to talk about some guns. I see Melvin is in the house, the gun man. Melvin Ware is in the house. Good to see you, sir. I can't see everybody. I can't. But those, if I don't call your name, it's not because I don't see you. Well, it is because I don't see you. I don't see you. But let us get straight into the topic at hand. Let's talk about the topic of what happened on the 21st. So I'm gonna read it, and then we're going to discuss it. We're going to discuss it. Okay, let me go here real quick. Let me go here and see what's up. We're going to deal with this. All right. A federal appeals court overturned one of Maryland's toughest gun control laws Tuesday, saying that the decade-old handgun licensing statute that required fingerprintings, firearms training, and a waiting period of up to a month violated the Second Amendment. Okay, that's what the federal court said. It also said it required that handgun buyers who already face background checks and waiting periods for purchases obtain an additional HQL license from Maryland officials and had to wait up to 30 days to get the gun. All right. The Fourth Circuit Court judges said in their opinion Tuesday that the prospects of waiting 30 days for a permit abridged gun owners' rights to keep and bear arms. So they were not on board with it. And so Maryland officially cannot enforce a law requiring people to get a license before they buy a handgun. A federal appeals court ruled on Tuesday undoing a signature gun control measure that lawmakers have passed. So if you more than a decade ago, okay. So Maryland, look at let me bring my man Wayne Walker up. Introduce to some, present to others. Wayne Walker. We're gonna talk about guns. How you doing, Mr. Wayne?
Doing good, man. How are you? You should be able to hear me.
Well,
You can't hear me?
What happened to your voice?
Oh, wow. I don't know.
Man, we just had him up. We just had the voice. Everything. The microphone check was good. The video was good, and now we can't hear him. We can see him, but we can't hear him. I don't know what happened, brother. I have no idea what happened. We'll just try to go out and come back up and see what happens. So anyway, Maryland cannot enforce a law requiring people to get a license before they can buy a handgun. A federal appeals court ruled on Tuesday, this Tuesday, undoing a decade. So in 2013, Maryland passed a law basically that made responsible gun owners have to go through a grueling process of a background check, of a class, okay, and you had to wait literally almost 30 days to get your license. And the Fourth Court of Appeals said that is unconstitutional. So basically, in a handbag. So watch this.
Yep. Can you hear me?
I still can't hear you, Wayne.
Oh man.
I may have to resend it to you. Um, Let me resend it to you and see what happens again. So basically, Tuesday, the laws was the fourth court said the fourth district court said it was unconstitutional. And for all those who want to know what that means, is this: for regular people, this decision will take effect in 21 days from the decision of the court. That will mean Tuesday, December 12th. If no legal action is taken by the state of Maryland, HQLs will be nullified. If the state challenges this ruling and appeals it to the Supreme Court, which is likely to happen, the status of HQLs legally will remain in question. So what is this saying? December 12th, family, this law goes into effect. You will no longer have to take an HQL class. I repeat, you will no longer have to take a HQL class to get a handgun qualification license. 21 days from Tuesday will be December the 12th. So if you're in a handgun HQL class right now, I would say you may want to wait. I would say you may want to wait because if you have a driver's license or a Maryland identification card, you will be able to present that ID to the store owner, to the gun store, right? And they will take your ID and they will process it, and you will no longer have to wait or go through the class. Now, what's still in place is this: you're still going to have to wait 7 days to get your gun. So if you decide to pick a gun and you've chosen the gun that you want, there's still going to be that 7-day waiting period to get your gun. So you're not going to be able to take your gun home that day. Okay. And still what's in place, you still will be able to buy one gun every 30 days. But you no longer will have to go through the grueling 4-hour HQL class, okay? And you will not have to deal with those fingerprints. From what it's saying, all you're going to need is to present your driver's license, a government-issued driver's license or ID card on the 13th, and you will be able to buy your handgun. So the HQL will be null and void, family. Null and void. So for those who already have HQL, so for those who've already gone through an HQL class and you have it, I hate to say this, but after the 13th, it just may be worthless. I'll say this. I won't say worthless. It'll be null and void. What this ruling is basically saying is this, family, that you don't have to go through a class. I'm a person who believes that if you're going to buy a gun, I still think you should go through a class. But I don't think so. I don't think the state should have to make you go through a class. The state was making you go through a class. And that's why I was not really on board with this law. That does not change that wear and carry. And that wear and carry, you still got to go to that class. That's a 16-hour class for that wear and carry. That's a 2-day class, or maybe even more hours. But for that HQL, for that handgun qualification license, you will not have to take the HQL class after December 12th. Okay, and that's good news. That's good news. You'll be able to take your driver's license or your ID card and take it to the gun store, and they're going to process it. Just like, watch this. If you was buying a shotgun or a rifle, it would be that same process. When you bought a shotgun or rifle, they didn't require no prints. Okay, they didn't require no prints. There was no application that you had to fill. Well, there's an application you had to fill out when you do purchase the gun, um, the PD-77. But moving forward, you will not have to repeat, go through a class, a 4-hour class, or fingerprints after December 12th. So again, I think it's a great ruling. I think it's a great victory for those of us who have been pushing for responsible gun ownership. I'm going to put right here. That's the ruling right here. You can copy this link right here. This is the link. If you just take a picture of it, this is the link for the tristatealert.com. It gives you that whole article that I'm talking about right now. But everybody's talking about it. You can go to CNN, Reuters, Baltimore Heritage. I mean, everybody's talking about this ruling that's happening in Maryland. So again, if you were in it, look here, if you were in the HQL class right now, continue with the class, family. Continue with the class. Look, although people will be able to buy guns without training, I'm always going to be an advocate for training. I think that just because you can get the gun, that doesn't mean you should eliminate the training. You have to be trained. I want you to be a responsible gun owner and gun user. I want you to be able to understand the laws that go along with owning that firearm. It's just not enough just to get the gun. But again, I didn't think that the government should regulate and put so many parameters on you just to be able to purchase a gun. You know, that was an infringement on your right. For a citizen to have to wait 30 days just to get their gun, you have to consider um, the threat that you could the threat that you could confront within that 30-day period, family. Okay, you got to think about that. So again, I say unto you, give me a second, give me a second, give me a second. Let me copy this. Give me a second, family. I say unto you, it is a great day for law-abiding citizens in the state of Maryland. These politicians who are very upset about this, even the governor, they feel like they can just encroach on our Second Amendment rights. And I mean, these laws was affecting law-abiding citizens. Okay, and again, Wayne, can you hear me?
Yes.
I can't hear you though.
Uh,
This is great. I don't know what to say. That's okay, brother. Listen to me. Hold up, hold up. Can you hear me now? Can you say something? No, I don't hear you. I don't hear you. I don't hear you. That's all right. Listen to me. That's all right. I'm gonna carry this load by myself tonight. You just go on and just enjoy the broadcast, and we'll bring you up next week and continue this conversation. Thank you, Sandra. Get you back. So again, family, this is a great week, a great day for gun owners in Maryland. Again, look here. Is it going to affect some of the pockets of the instructors? Yes, but it's okay. It's okay, family. Let me say something. Family, your right to bear arms is more important than get that money from you. I'm more concerned about your rights than how much money they get from you. I'm just that serious. Yes, it's going to affect, it will affect some of that money coming in from the HQLs. That's a 4-hour class. You're talking about maybe $100, $200, $300 for that class. Okay. But I think you being able to purchase a gun without a mandatory class, without having to submit your fingerprints. Okay. Look, they running your name, your address, they're gonna get your date of birth when you apply for a gun. And they're gonna run you through NCIC. Okay. They're gonna run you through the whole national criminal system. They're gonna run you through it. Okay. I think that's sufficient. I really do. That's sufficient. If something comes up, this is gonna disqualify you. Look here. Gun stores are not just selling guns to people who do not qualify for these guns. A lot of these folks out here who commit these crimes are not going through the gun stores. These laws were affecting good, solid, upstanding citizens, family. You know, these laws was not affecting the criminals. So will it affect the bottom line? Yes, but it's okay. I'm looking forward to the day that that let me say this thing right. Do I really want you to go through a 16-hour class to be able to wear and carry? Not really. I want you to be able to get the gun and be able to protect yourself and your family. Okay. But I do encourage getting some instructions. I do encourage making sure that you get you an instructor, you go through a class, and you know how to work that gun, how to break that gun, how to break that gun down, how to reassemble, disassemble, how to clean that gun, knowing those laws. I encourage all that. How to shoot, concealment versus cover, how to holster and unholster. I'm all on board with that. Okay. Um, I guess in the laws of this land, you know, how many bullets, how many rounds should be in your magazine. Okay. Again, like I said, when and when not to shoot, understanding the castle doctrine or the right not to retreat. I want you, that's the importance of the classes. That's the importance of the classes to make sure that you're familiar with the laws, that you're familiar with with how to operate that gun, how to sight that gun, how to hold and grip, knowing all the parts. It's a look, for real, 16 hours is really not enough when you're talking about a wear and carry. It takes more than 16 hours because, again, it's so much to go over. Just teaching you how to shoot, just teaching you how to shoot properly. I mean, everybody does not learn at the same speed. Okay, but again, this is a victory for Marylanders, and I am so excited because, again, our legislators, family, when we look at what's going on out here in these streets, I just read an article today that in DC alone, and we're only in the month of November, approaching December, DC has had 900 reported carjackings this year. Say this again. DC has had 900 reported carjackings just this year. So watch this. It's only 365 days in a year. So we're averaging 2.5 carjackings a day. Let me do the math on this. Somebody type in the chat. What is 365 times 2? What is 365 times 2, family? Because that's how many carjackings that DC 365 times 2. Let me find my calculator so we can get the math on that. Let somebody else if somebody got the math on this, put it in the comment section. Put it in the comments so we can see just how many carjackings are we getting calculated. There it is right there. Oh, there it is. Let me do this. 365 times 2. That's 730, right? So, and we're at 900 just for the year. 365 times 2 is 730. They are out here doing at least 2 carjacks, they're doing 2.5 carjackings a day. Probably more than that. And we're not even finished with the year. So get the carjackings. We got people taking more chances on trying to steal, trying to hurt you or take your property. We got people taking chances on burglaries, robberies. This is not the time to be turning in your guns, family. This is not the time to be surrendering your guns to some gun buyback. Again, this whole Maryland law, this federal appeals court, thought that that Maryland was infringing on our rights to carry, to own a gun, to purchase a gun. Let's say just to purchase a gun. Okay. So again, if you already have an HQL and you've gone through the class, you're still in good hands. You still know more than the average person who haven't gone through a class. But again, your HQL, thank you, Landman, 730. Thank you. 730. But again, after December 12th, on December 12th, you're not going to need it. You're not going to need it, family. You are not going to need it. Again, this is the article. Please take a picture of it, write it down, read the article for yourself. You see that the courts have sided with the citizens and not with the legislators. Okay. So again, and it's unfortunate. I couldn't keep weighing on, man, because I really want to have a discussion about this whole gun piece. Just want to talk about a couple of things. So let me move the conversation. If anybody has a question in the chat, please submit your question so I can answer it. But again, this does not affect that wear and carry, like concealed carry. You still need to go through them 16 hours if you're in the state of Maryland. You still need to go through that 16-hour class, okay, to be able to wear and carry your concealed weapon. This HQL don't affect the HQL is something totally different when you wear and carry. Okay. And even if you do go and purchase a gun, okay, you cannot carry that gun on you. If you're going to purchase that gun after December 12th, or you're going to wait till December 12th and then go buy you a gun. Okay, so you would go from your house, from wherever you purchased the gun. You can't ride around with the gun in your car like that. That's the importance of knowing the laws. If a person goes out here and purchases a gun tomorrow or tonight or today, that gun still should be in the trunk, unloaded, separate from the ammo. It doesn't go underneath your back seat or your driver's side seat or the passenger seat. And then also the gun don't go in the glove compartment, family. You know, you still have to properly know how to transport the gun. And that's where the training comes in, the classes come in. Because a lot of people are buying the guns, but they don't know the laws. They don't know how to transport. If you keep your gun in your car, okay, and you don't take your gun home and put it away, inaccessible, that nobody else has access to it, then you're storing your gun. If you're leaving guns inside your car overnight, a couple of days or weeks, that's considered storing your gun. You're not supposed to store your gun, family. You're supposed to secure your gun. So on the 13th of December, when you decide to go to that pawn shop and buy a gun, or to that gun shop and get a gun, you're supposed to present your ID, right? Fill out the paperwork, right? You're going to answer those questions, okay? And they're going to send it through like they normally do the process, and you will not get your gun that day. There's still a 7-day wait for your gun. They're going to call you and say, your gun is ready. You can come pick your gun up from the store. You'll go to the store. You will get your gun. You're going to secure it. Make sure you got everything. And then when you leave out the store, you're going to put the gun in the trunk, making sure it's not loaded. And you're gonna go from the gun store to your house, not go to the gun store or the Crafty Crab or the Hook and Reel or the Outback or McDonald's. You know, you go from your store to the house. No stops in between, family. Okay, it's just that serious. All right. As a matter of fact, let me just provide a video and for some clarity. And let's see what let's provide a video. Let's see. Hold on a second.
In a 2-to-1 ruling, the appeals court wrote that the challenge law restricts the ability of law-abiding adult citizens to possess handguns.
Well, it tells me that the Fourth Circuit Court of Appeals got it exactly right. The state has
All right, family. My apologies. I didn't hit the replay, but I got two videos playing at the same time, and I kind of I heard like a family feedback. My apologies. I didn't hit the replay. But I got two videos. Can you hear me? Can anybody hear me? If you can hear me, just give me a thumbs up or something, because I'm hearing some feedback, some double feedbacks. I need to make sure I'm coming in clear. Okay, so so again, it's a victory for Marylanders, for the citizens. It's a victory for us. Let me see something. Thank you, Wayne. Thank you, landlord. Life is in the house. We got a landlord life in the house, Wayne. We got a Matthew Sheffers in. Matthew, I see you. I saw your comment earlier today. Matthew said, let me put down what Matthew said up here. Matthew said handgun laws are unconstitutional. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. All of them are. Matthew said, probably going to miss this live stream tonight. We'll catch it later. Hope all is well with you and hope you had a happy Thanksgiving. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. That's Matthew Schaffer. He saw the plug for the broadcast tonight. He chimed in before he even had a broadcast. So I thank those who are waiting and who love the respect of content and and encouraging us to become responsible gun owners, gun users. I hear you, landlord. She said, what's that? 365 times 2 is 730. That's important, family. That's important because, again, like I said, 900 carjackings in DC, and the year ain't up yet. They're averaging 2 carjackings a day. This is not the time to be giving your guns out. I say that because they had 2 churches, 2 big churches last Saturday on the 18th. On the 18th, 2 big churches. I'm gonna call the names out. Zion and First Baptist Church Glenard had a gun buyback. I was in DC at this youth prevention intervention uh, uh, symposium last week with Dr. Short. We was there at this church, and we were talking about the violence and what can we do. At the same time, we're talking about the violence, what we can do. We had 2 churches in PG County offering certificates for their guns. Man, we in war. We're in times of war. This is not the time to be doing no gun buybacks. We have people come across this border proving that they've been on the watch list. They're terrorists. They're bringing in guns and explosives. They're being caught. We got people moving to our neighborhoods. We don't even know who they are. Our missing persons are up in our neighborhoods. We don't know who these people are. We don't have no clue. No clue who they are. But you have our legislators trying to take the guns from us, law-abiding citizens, which I think is disrespectful. Look, in times of war, family, you don't consult preachers. Let me say this again. A preacher is a peacemaker. Blessed are the peacemakers. They are the children of God. We salute the peacemakers. But in times of war, you listen to peacekeepers. Peacekeepers, those who are armed, those who are badged up, those who are ready to protect ready to quelch the violence. The restraining force in the earth. You do not listen to preachers in times of war. You go to them for prayer. Let them pray that you have the strength, the boldness, and that you make it back home, or whatever the preachers would say to you and the families as they are basically wanting protection and covering over the soldiers and the troops, and maybe not no extended war. But in times of war, you do not consult preachers. And I personally thought, and I don't want to make no enemies, because I don't know the pastor from First Baptist Church. I don't know him personally. I don't know the pastor from Zion Church. I know these are mega churches in PG County. And what I do know is this, that they are disarming people. Good day, Pastor Wilkins. They are disarming law-abiding citizens. Yes, that buyback was an amnesty buyback. Watch this. That gun buyback that they did on last week, right? If I was a criminal and you telling me that this was an amnesty program, that I can turn my gun in, that I've used to maybe kill people or assault people, that I can turn this gun in, amnesty, and it would never get back to me. That's who that gun helped out. But for law-abiding citizens, who we're seeing every day, the crime rates up in PG County, up in DC, and you as a pastor, a reverend, working with the chief of police and the governor or your county executive to convince law-abiding citizens to turn in their weapons when we have evidence that crime is up, burglaries are up, robberies are up, homicides are up, missing persons are up. right? And you feel real good about convincing law-abiding citizens to turn their guns in. Man, even Jesus said, he that have no gun, pawn your jacket and buy one. This sounds like he's going against the scriptures. How do the preachers justify Jesus saying, he that has no sword, which is a gun in the 21st century, pawn your coat and get one? And then the churches are doing just the opposite. Bring your guns. Bring your guns off the street. Bring your guns from your houses and give it to us. Well, how are the churches protecting the citizens when you're taking the guns from law-abiding citizens? And may I add this? Let me just add this, because I want to be very clear about this. I want to say this thing right. How do ministers in good conscience work with, you can work with whoever you want to work with. Why are we promoting prevention, intervention, right? Enforcement, right? But you're not promoting educating. Why are the ministers so reluctant to bring firearms instructors into their congregations, into their communities? Not just the preachers. Why is the county executive? Why is the governor? Why are the mayors so reluctant to bring instructors into the communities to offer training to its citizens? Why do we have this fascination with prevention, intervention, enforcement, and never even consider education? Why is that? I'm gonna tell you why. Man, we have been. Can we keep it? Can I keep it a buck? Can I keep it a buck? We have been programmed not to defend ourselves. We've been programmed. Our self-preservation switch has been disconnected, has been deactivated. And it's sad, family, because again, I'm going on a decade, at least since 2014, because I became a firearm instructor in 2018. But was a police officer since 1994. Okay. So I've been pushing this whole gun piece for a long time. And my biggest distractors and my biggest hindrance, the folks who really come against me, have been those in the clergy. It's been those in the clergy. It has been the clergy. Clergy, male representation. Males. And not just the clergy, but just men in general are finding ways of making excuses for not educating our people about responsible gun ownership, gun users. I think it may be in our DNA. From 1619 to 1865 is 257 years. Why is that important? Because it was encoded in the law family for us not to be able to protect ourselves. There was laws in place on a book that says you cannot have guns, you cannot have flints, you cannot have knives, you cannot have clubs, you cannot have bats, you couldn't even defend yourself if you was black, a Negro, color. Those were the terms used in those days, black, Negro, color. And those terms or those rules was encoded in the law, and everybody was on the same page, black and white. Blacks knew they couldn't defend themselves, and whites knew you better not have nothing in your house to defend yourself. We have firsthand accounts. Read the book. Read the book. What's that book? What's that book? Um, there's a couple of books out there. Deacons for Defense. Deacons for Defense. There's so many books out there that shows you how just simply trying to defend yourself, it was encoded in the laws that you couldn't do it. Okay. And now that we've been free since 1865, and we've embraced these rights, I think at the genetic level, at the DNA level, it's been encoded in our DNA not to defend ourselves. You know, we don't want to talk about this. We don't like to talk about how slavery has changed our DNA. A lot of people don't want to talk about that. I may not do it on this broadcast, but I'm going to deal with that. Because as a man who did policing for going on 3 decades, who begged and pleaded for brothers to defend their cities, defend their women, defend their families, protect their communities, who reminded the brothers, it's not enough police officers out here. Why won't you defend and protect yourselves? Who even used the scriptures to show that God told Abraham, do I hide from Abraham that which I want to do for him? For he shall what? Give instructions to his family and his children that he will protect and provide. That's scripture. We always talk about what a male's role is to protect and provide. But we leave out the most important part. Is he's supposed to give instructions. Instructions. What I'm doing right now. I just don't come on these social media platforms just talking just to hear myself. I at least try to give you some instructions. Let me see something. What the pastor said. Pastor Wickham said, we invited a firearm instructor to the congregation to educate and train the people in 2019. And watch this. Very rare do you see that a female pastor invites a firearm instructor to come to her church and teach her congregation. I would dare say in her congregation, I don't have no other bishop, elder, overseer in her conversation did what she did. I could be wrong. Do you know how long I've been out here asking these bishops, these reverends, these elders, these overseers to have me come to your convocation, come to your conference, and let me give you a presentation on being a responsible gun owner, gun user? And I have gotten not one invite to come talk. They will come, and they will come from everywhere, dressed to the T, smelling good. I mean, getting their word, but they will not educate their people on being responsible gun owners and gun users. And you got to ask the question, why won't these preachers and these males promote responsible gun users, being a responsible gun person. Especially when you see the crime out here in these neighborhoods. I know people who go to church, and when service is over, when they leave out the buildings, they looking both ways. Why? Because they in these neighborhoods where they may get knocked upside the head or robbed or burglarized, or somebody bust out their windows and take their stuff out their cars. And that's another thing about that whole gun piece, about leaving your gun in your car. Because if you're storing your gun in your car, if somebody steals your car, they're gonna have your gun. So you don't leave no guns in the car overnight. Your gun is not secure if your gun is in your trunk and you didn't bring your gun in the house. Your gun is not secure if your gun is under your seat. Your gun is not secure if your gun's inside the glove compartment box. Okay? But this is what you will get if they brought education to the people. Not just prevention, not just intervention, not just enforcement. We need to try to educate our people on being responsible gun owners and gun users. And I mean that. Okay? Again, again, like I've said, the self-preservation switch has been deactivated in our community. And I say our community because I train people. I see all the ones who get trained, the Arabs, the Indians, the Jamaicans, the Africans, the Russians, the Latinos. I mean, they are getting trained. They get trained. Okay? You're not seeing a lot of Black Americans getting trained because they believe God. They've been told if they hold their peace and let the Lord fight their battle. You know, well, at the same time, they calling the police for some assistance, right? And I've told you, it's not enough police officers for everybody. And watch this. If a purge takes place, if martial law is declared, or if these terrorists that's coming through our borders illegally decide to start blowing up certain cities, do you think that the police is going to be so focused on trying to protect you that they're not going to protect their own family first? Say that again. If a purge takes place, if martial law is declared, if one of these, let me say this thing right. If one of these cells out here is activated and they decide to start setting bombs everywhere and blowing up certain cities, right? And you start seeing the panic and the chaos. Do you think that the police is going to stay on their post and not be concerned about their family? Police officers not robots. They're people. I'm going to make sure my family and my friends are secure, especially in times of martial law. That's why the Second Amendment is important. Because the Second Amendment speaks about a well-regulated militia being necessary, right, to secure the free state shall not be infringed. That's why the Second Amendment is important. It's when the government decides to run, or they decide they're not going to do this, or they're overtaken, or it's not enough for them. It's not, they don't have enough manpower. That's why the Second Amendment is important, family. The Second Amendment deals with people who are not a part of the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, the Marines, the Reserves, the National Guard, the Coast Guard. The Second Amendment deals with the citizens. The militia has always been the citizens. A well-regulated militia being necessary to secure the free state shall not be infringed. That's the Second Amendment, family. Look, I need y'all to wake up. I need y'all to wake up. I need you to get serious about protecting yourself. If you're not in Maryland, or wherever state you're in, wherever this video is being watched, I need you to be serious about becoming responsible gun owners, gun users. Not tomorrow, today. Our cities are being overrun with people who are not loyal to this country, who know nothing about the Constitution, okay, who are destitute, hungry, and poor. And when you're destitute and you're hungry and you're poor, you know what you would do? You'll rob, you'll steal, and you will kill. Okay? You rob, you steal, and you kill for your family. Are you guys? Huh? You don't think what's going on in New York and Chicago, two of our biggest cities, who are sanctuary cities? You don't think it can happen in your city? Okay. Okay. I need you to become responsible gun owners, gun users. Okay. So I think I'm gonna bring it to an end. I think I'm gonna bring this to an end. Before I do that, I want to remind some of y'all about this Second Amendment. This Second Amendment states that as an American citizen, you have the individual right to arm yourself. The amendment also firmly establishes that the government cannot infringe on that right. Okay. So I'm just going to bring it back to what we discussed earlier as I bring it to a close. The Federal Appeals Court overturned one of Maryland's toughest gun controlling laws Tuesday, saying that the decade-old handgun licensing statute that required fingerprints and firearm training and a period of waiting up to a month, it violated the Second Amendment. So again, if you have an HQL, good. Come December 3rd, December 12th, you don't need an HQL. You can go present your ID and you can buy you a gun. You won't get that gun the same day unless you're trying to get you a rifle or a shotgun. But a handgun, there's still the 7-day wait, but you don't have to deal with those prints no more. You don't have to deal with those classes no more, those 4-hour classes. I still encourage you to take a class, but it's not necessary after December the 12th. So if you're in a class right now, you may want to wait and save some money. Because right now, HQL gonna cost you $75. It's gonna cost about $65 for some prints. So you have to like maybe $110, and then you ain't paid your instructor yet. Could be charged you between $100 and $200. So that's $400 right there. That's about $425 right there. you may want to wait till December 12th. You just may want to wait till December 12th. But if you got to have your gun right now, pay your money. Get your gun right now. And look at family, that's all I got for you. If there's any questions in the chat, I'll take some questions right now. Okay, I'll take them. But if not, I'm gonna bring this to an end. I'm gonna bring it to an end again. As you get your guns, I'm gonna always encourage you to get some instructions. But if you don't get no instructions, it is what it is. The government should not tell you that if you don't have no instructions, you can't have a gun. That is not the Second Amendment. It was not written that way. Okay. So moving forward, after December the 12th, go get you a gun. Go get you a gun, or 2 or 3. Okay. And get you some training. Okay. And enjoy your purchase. Okay. And take that gun to the range and shoot that gun. Okay. Because you may not like it. Many people have purchased guns that they ain't like. You want to make sure that gun is not going to malfunction. You don't want to wait. You want to practice with that gun. Okay. Then get inside a class, a class, and get you some good, solid instructions. And then stay on top of those laws and practice with that gun empty, with not loaded. Practice your holstering, reholstering, holster, reholster, holster, reholster, point, shooting, point. That I'm encouraging you. That's my advice to you. Okay. So again, I'm gonna wrap it up. Again, I want nothing but the best for you. Nothing but the best for you. I want you all to be wolf packs. If you can't go to Lone Firearms, Wayne, I'm going to put his information. He could not be here today. Couldn't be here today, but there's Wayne Walker, Find Me Perfect, and the number. Like I said, this thing is going nationwide. It's going worldwide. Wherever it's going, the number's right here. Go to my man Wayne Walker at yahoo.com, Find Me Perfect. That's his number. If you have somebody in your neighborhood, in your area, who can train you and teach you responsible gun ownership, do it. And for my males out there, I need you to turn back on your self-preservation switch. It's been deactivated too long. And don't be listening to these preachers out here who are disarming you. Do not listen to preachers in times of war. Do not listen to these preachers. I'm not saying they're bad or good, but in times of war, you don't go to no preacher. And what them guys did last week, I was not with it. Too much crime going on. All right. With that said, thank you all for tuning in. I see you, Clinton. I see you. I see everybody just turning. Well, I don't see everybody, but I need you to just like this very video. I want you to share it, or you can unlike, or you can dislike it. Okay. I'm on multiple platforms right now. So if you like it, share it. If you want to support it, there it is right there. PayPal, be Lone Wolf Farms. You subscribe to the channel, like and share. Okay, like and share, or you can dislike it. It makes a difference to the algorithm. So if you don't like it, hit the dislike. Like it, hit the like. Share the video. Okay, especially if you're in Maryland and you have a gun, or you've been wondering if you need to go to a class. Again, December 12th, you no longer have to do a HQL class. Just your ID, present it to the dealer. They're going to run your paperwork. You'll find out in 7 days if you're good or not. You'll find out in 7 days. You get that phone call in 7 days, come get your gun. Or they may tell you, right there, that same day, that you can't get no gun. All right. But you will not have to go through that process of going through a class for 4 hours, of supplying some fingerprints. That day is over unless Maryland appeals that. So good news. Good news, good news, good news. With that said, look at family, no questions, no comments. I want to thank you for tuning in on this Friday after Thanksgiving. You could be somewhere else, but you're here, and I appreciate it. I want nothing but the best for you. I want you healthy. I want you happy. I want you to find love. I want you successful. I want you prosperous. I want you to have all the resources you need for your next level. And I also want you to have unlimited money. I'm talking about unlimited money. Why? So you can buy more guns. This is ammo. Or do whatever you want to do. Go on a trip, take a plane, or just do nothing. But that is my prayer for you. Anybody under the sound of my voice, health, happiness, love, success, prosperity, resources, and unlimited money. That's my prayer for you. That's my prayer. That's my prayer. That is my prayer. And also, always remember this. Thank you, landlord tenant. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I always remember this, family. A lot of people know a lot, but they don't care. It is not how much you know, family. I do this because I know, look here, the guns has always been here. I see myself as reintroducing the gun to a whole new generation. There's some people my age, I'm a generation extra, the baby boomers are silent. They are determined. They don't want no parts of the guns. But the generation after me, they need to prepare themselves. They need to be ready to fight. Okay? They need to be ready to defend themselves. And I think it's wrong for us who are Generation X or the baby boomers or the silent generation to shut down not encouraging the millennials or the X, the Ys and the Zs not to defend themselves. Okay. Protect their families. Okay. I think it's selfish. So I'm trying to get everybody who qualifies to be a responsible gun owner, gun user. I want you to be able to defend yourself. In Maryland, the law was from 18 to 21. So you're 21, go get your gun. Get some training. I'm saying just the opposite of what everybody else is saying. We've tried intervention. We've tried enforcement. We've tried prevention. We need to do education. And this is what you're getting from me, education. Okay? With that said, it is not how much you know, family. It's not how much you know. It's how much you care. Again, contact Wayne Walker. Contact Wayne at this number. Contact Lone Wolf Firearms at owtraining.com. And join the responsible handgun users and shooters. Okay? Like I said, with that said, again, remember, it's not how much you know, family. It's how much you care. With that said, enjoy